Welcome to Hobby Clubhouse with a review of the SD EX Standard Nu Gundam. This surprise release from the long-dormant X Standard line came to stores alongside the Sazabi, which we've also reviewed, so make sure to check that out if you haven't already. Links in the top right corner and also down in the descriptions below. I've talked about the X Standard line a bit more in the Sazabi review, but the short of it is, it's a budget-friendly line aimed at people just starting in Gundam models, like younger fans and people in new markets like Western countries. So, the kits are supposed to be minimalistic to keep costs low, and that has left some people not too pleased with that approach. The Nu Gundam was released outside Japan in Asian regions on November 14th, and will release in Japan and Western regions later in December. Its listed retail price is 660 yen, and it comes in a small form factor box measuring 15 by 20.5 by 5 centimeters. This kit follows the Sazabi's shift being made in China, while all the previous kits were made in Japan, which is possibly why Asian regions are getting this early release. Next to it is Bandai's promise of meeting its Bandai Hobby Center quality, which I feel is a promise well kept. The box art is a CG render of the Nu Gundam on a white tile background, which is common for the line. It's nothing breathtaking, but it gets the job done. On the side, we get a few studio shots, and then a reminder that the kit can be mixed with other HG kits because it uses standardized 3mm holes. On the other side, there's a lone leaf front and back image of the Nu Gundam, and the rest are warnings and legally required information. Inside the box, we get the kit across 6 runners, with one of them being polycaps. The instructions reuse most of the shots on the box, and there are some basic labels so you know the names of some of the things on the Nu Gundam, but really there isn't much else. The rest of the color section is for assembly instructions, and so is the entire backside, which is all in black and white. Then there's this pretty big sheet of foil stickers. Because there's way too many of them, I'll put the rundown of where each one goes at the end of the video, so if you want to know which parts are detailed with stickers, you can find it there. Because first, we need to talk about the problem with this many stickers on the kit. You see, assembling the kit only took about 20 minutes, but the stickers took almost twice that long, and I can already imagine younger builders being discouraged while doing the stickers for the fin funnel rack, which is not only very difficult, but it's also very repetitive. It's just not a good idea at all for a starter kit. But there's still a bigger problem than that. The stickers are elaborate to a point where you can't actually apply some of them just by hand, like the back of the funnel with this tight space here. There's a good chance some people will end up with broken stickers or a misaligned mess, and then the kit's gonna get tossed back into the box and never get looked at again. But even if everything goes well, the payoff for all that work is just not that satisfying. The kit isn't horrible or ugly or anything, but stickers are stickers, and you're not going to feel you made something impressive after all that time and concentration you put in. And guess what? There's still one more problem with the stickers, but we'll get to that a little bit later. So first, here's the kit assembled before stickers are applied. I had to do that big rant about all the stickers because as you can see here, the kit will not be complete at all without them. When you look at this, all you see here are the large sections of single colors, and it doesn't look good at all. For builders who paint, this isn't the most troublesome kit to overcome, but that's really more to do with the Nu Gundam's simple color overall, more than any merit of this kit itself, sadly. And now here's the kit with all the stickers put on, and what a world of difference it makes. Objectively, it's not amazing, but at the same time, it looks okay on the shelf. With the help of all the detailings from the stickers, we're more able to appreciate the sculpt and proportions of Nu Gundam. The tiny body gives it a more aggressive and striking look, and the longer legs may be preferred by some fans who don't like the very squashed looks of more traditional SD Gundam. The fin funnel rack seems a little bit small, but I imagine some people won't find that much of an issue at all. On the side of the head, the Vulcan cannon's ejection doors are rendered in detailed, and that's likely thanks to the RG Nu Gundam having that detail as well. But let's go back to the funnel rack for a second and praise the detail on the back side, which is this whole back panel molded in black. For a budget kit, you wouldn't be surprised if this whole back panel was left out entirely and there was nothing there but hollow spaces, but here, the back panel helps keep this kit from looking too stingy. And that segues nicely into the places that do have hollowed spaces, which of course are the legs. Some argue it's not too bad or that it's a reasonable trade-off, but my opinion is that a well-designed budget kit should leave the flaws and details to a modeler to complete, and these legs, you don't really fix them. You're building an entire freaking thing out of scratch. So no, this has not ever been okay in my book, and for the Nu Gundam, this remains a deal breaker. Other hollow spaces like the inside of the biceps and this odd little hole on the back of the skirt are just fine. They're out of the way and they're not easy to see and they're very easy to patch up. Well, how about the weapons then? The beam rifle here is still the same thin gun from the X Standard line, but the Nu Gundam's rifle had always been quite thin, so the kit got lucky here and it's not as bad as some other kits. The gun has two 3mm pegs on the side for mixing with other kits, and then there's one more of those pegs on the top of the butt, which alters the outline of the gun a little bit too much and is a little bit unsightly. On one side of the rifle are two slits that work with other X Standard line and weapon and parts, although it's a bit of a mystery why one is in front of the other like this. Then you get the Nu Gundam's shield, which looks fine. It's nice and long, and again, this kit got lucky because the shield was already quite simple in its design. On the back of the shield are several 3mm holes for customization. Next is the beam saber, with bits of the handle hollowed out. It's not that noticeable really, and because it's on both sides, it's not that hard to just see this as part of the design and ignore it. There's a slot in the middle of the handle which looks like they'd work with other X Standard kits, but they actually don't, so they're just there to cut back on some more plastic. Lastly, though not quite a weapon, is the fin funnel rack. They're nicely detailed and they look decent enough, so other than the size that I mentioned before, there's really nothing wrong with these and they add a lot of detail to the Nu Gundam. But you know what, it might be a little bit hard to get an idea of exactly how good this is as a budget price starter kit. So, to help us better understand this, let's call in some help. So here is the BB Senshi number 209 Nu Gundam, released in August 2000 for a price of 500 yen. The kit comes in the same box size, and the BB Senshi is even a little cheaper than the X Standard kit. The BB Senshi kit here does not have any of the stickers applied, and you can see that it already has much better color separation with the yellow on the chest, the white on the waist, and even the collarbone area represented in plastic. And even the little red section on the front of the skirt armor is done in red plastic. Crest of the V-fin is also very nicely done and it's a separate black piece. So the X Standard Nu Gundam really can't lean so easily on its price to explain the imperfections that it has. The BB Senshi undercuts it by close to 25% in price, and it manages to not be covered in stickers. And what's more, the BB Senshi kit manages to include all the same weapons plus the new Hyper Bazooka and the HWS armaments. So, to me, the Nu Gundam under the X Standard line is a budget kit, but it's also one that's meant to maximize profit margins. We've seen here that there's clearly room for some more engineering, more colors, more accessories at its asking price. Before we move on, I want to talk about the durability of the stickers. Now I leave this here because through the course of making the previous parts of this review with some normal handling of the kit, the stickers are already getting frayed and damaged in the corners and the edges. It got worse while testing for the articulation, so this is another problem to manage if you're considering buying this kit. But to be fair, the X Standard line has the BB Senshi kit beat in articulation in every way, so let's look at how the Nu Gundam fares in this regard. From top to bottom, the head dips a bit forward and backwards a little bit, and it barely manages enough distance for a full circle turnaround. The shoulders are on a swing out polycap joint, and they swing forward a little bit, and thanks to the chunky shoulders, the joints won't come off so easily by accident. The right arm can swing around a full circle, but the left arm will hit the fin funnels. Arms rotate along the bicep, and they swing outward this much. And the elbow only manages about 75 degrees forward, but strangely go further than that in the other way. The fist turns and angles on a ball joint, and the waist gives you a full rotation. And the legs swing around on a ball joint. Then, the feet are on the X Standard style of the ankle joint, so they swing forward only a little bit, but they go very far back, and they swing nicely side to side, limited only by the armor around it. But with all that said, here's a Hobby Clubhouse 3-point verdict on the SD EX Standard Nu Gundam. Number 1, it is not a good starter kit. The stickers ask for way too much for a beginning modeler, and even when they don't outright defeat someone, the results aren't at all worth the bad experience. What's worse, as mentioned just before, they fray and they don't stay down, and they're gonna wear down very quickly, so you can't even enjoy it as a toy. So no, it's not at all suitable for someone just starting in Gundam models. Number 2, it's a good looking rendition of the Nu Gundam. because if you look at it just with the stickers on, the Nu Gundam does look good. Which is to say, if not for the sticker problems, this is indeed a handsomely proportioned version of the RX-93. It's lucky and isn't too affected by the skinny beam rifle, and the MS works well with the long legs and the small body. Number 3, it's not worth the asking price. The low price tag hides a kit that has too many compromises. And our comparison with the BB Senshi shows that there really is much room to give us more, and Bandai's choices in this kit is to not have any of those extra choices. But as mentioned in the first verdict, what does come in the box is just not enough of a good experience. So sadly, dollar for dollar, you can have a better experience with other kits. So hopefully, all this has helped you make a decision on whether this is the right Nu Gundam for you, whether it's for yourself or a present for someone else. But before we wrap up, here's the promised detailed look at where each of the stickers go. So going way back to our sheet of foil stickers, we have one here for the eyes, and then green one here for the camera on the forehead, and also one for the back of the head. Then there's a black one for the crest of the V-fin, and then a white one for the collarbone area, a red one for the cockpit hatch, then 2 yellow ones for the vents on the chest, then a red one with a yellow V for the front of the skirt armor. These 2 red ones go onto the back skirt. Then we have 2 yellow ones for the beam saber mount. Then we get a bunch of these for the detailing on the middle of the fin funnels. And these white ones here are for the backside where some funnels fold up. And that's only half of them so far. These white ones here give us colors on the waist. These bits here all go onto the left forearm. And the black ones here go onto the wrists. Then these 2 here are for the heel, whereas these make up the front and the back of the bottoms of the feet. Then to wrap up, we have Amuro's emblem that goes onto the left shoulder, and then this other emblem that goes onto the shield. And hey, wow, you're still here! So, have a truly big extra thank you for watching this entire video. Come hang out with us on social media, links are also in the description below as always, or keep your awesome streak going by clicking on one of these other videos. But before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified of new videos from Hobby Clubhouse, and I'll see you next time.